with tequila, do this thing where I can pick up a grape. Not with my hands, not with my feet.
If it ain't one of them, who's bigger than Diddy on the West Coast?
Kids go crazy, it's awesome. It was an adult party. Well.
The courtroom fell silent as Dwayne Johnson took the stand. No one expected to see him there, let alone hear what he had to say. It wasn't a movie script, no Hollywood lights or rehearsed lines. This was real, and when he opened his mouth, the words that came out shook the room. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. He had been called as a character witness, initially expected to make a brief statement and leave. But instead of giving a generic comment, he paused, looked around the room, and delivered a statement that would ripple across the internet within minutes. Cameras couldn't be there, but transcripts and eyewitness accounts spread like wildfire. No one saw it coming, least of all the legal teams involved. Johnson's voice was calm but firm. He wasn't emotional, but he was intense.
Right now, my publicist is like, please God, don't say any more. What's my party trick?
I said, John, you're killing me, man. You got me talking about 50, now you got me talking about The Rock. These are two niggas I like. Oh, man. I know. The only thing I want to believe Rock did wrong was took some steroids once in his life. That's all I want to believe.
He didn't ramble or grandstand. He simply spoke his truth, and it happened to involve the man at the center of the courtroom storm, Sean Combs, widely known as Diddy. Most assumed Johnson would keep his words vague or diplomatic. That didn't happen. Instead, Johnson described his past interactions with Diddy in startling detail. He said they met several times over the years, both in entertainment circles and behind the scenes of various brand partnerships.
It all depends on what kind of party it is. If it's a party for little kids, I could transform into Maui.
I don't know what the hell Rock talking about. I don't know why whoever was with him wasn't like, bro, what are you saying? If it ain't one of them, who's bigger than Diddy on the West Coast?
And then he said something that changed everything. That more than once, Diddy had made cryptic comments about owning people, about how influence was more valuable than money, and how control was the real currency in Hollywood. People in the room reportedly stiffened. Legal teams exchanged glances. Johnson continued, saying he never fully understood what those remarks meant until now, until the allegations surrounding Diddy exploded into public view. He didn't accuse Diddy directly of any crime, but he didn't have to. His tone said everything.
They all start to gather around. I know it's a lot, the hair, the bod. When you're staring at a demigod, I make my pecs bounce and
What are you doing? Hey, be quiet, because niggas be just talking. That's only tapes. That's very, very recognizable.
The court didn't need speculation, they needed insight, and Johnson, it turned out, had plenty. He recounted an incident at an after-party in Los Angeles where Diddy allegedly told him that everyone's got a leash, you just have to know where to hold it. Johnson said the remark unnerved him at the time, but he brushed it off as just ego-fueled banter.
kids go crazy, it's awesome. It was an adult party. Well.
Unfortunately, man, I think Hollywood, y'all call it Hollywood, or when you been around all of this weird stuff.
Now, he said, those words seemed darker, almost like a glimpse into a private philosophy built on control and dominance. Reporters outside the courtroom scrambled to verify and dissect every word. Social media lit up instantly. Clips of courtroom sketches paired with dramatic headlines began to flood news feeds. People were shocked not just by what Johnson said, but by the fact that he said it at all. This was The Rock, one of the most tightly managed, brand-safe public figures in the world. And now he was on record suggesting that one of the most powerful men in hip-hop may have been hiding something sinister behind the glamour and success. Diddy's legal team appeared visibly caught off guard. For days, they had focused their defense on undermining specific accusations, painting them as isolated or unfounded. But Johnson's words struck at something different, something deeper.
With tequila, I do this thing where I can pick up a grape. Not with my hands, not my feet.
Oh, Rock, come on, man. What the hell?
Not in my mouth. Right now, my publicist is like, please, God, don't say any more. Don't, please.
He wasn't talking about incidents. He was talking about patterns, mentalities, behavior. There was no shouting, no dramatics, just a few sentences that dropped like anvils. Observers say Diddy remained still throughout, occasionally whispering to his attorneys but mostly maintaining a tight, unreadable expression. Some speculated he was trying to remain stoic. Others said he looked blindsided. Johnson didn't linger on the stand. After delivering his account, he stepped down quietly and left the room. But the damage, or revelation, depending on one's view, was done. In just a few minutes, he had shifted the tone of the trial. He had brought credibility, weight, and a new kind of scrutiny to a case already swamped in controversy. Public reaction was explosive. Pundits debated whether Johnson's remarks would sway the outcome. Legal experts said it might not change the technical arguments but would absolutely impact public perception. Fans and critics alike flooded comment sections, trying to make sense of what they'd just heard. Was Johnson confirming rumors that had floated around for years? Or was he just speaking his own truth as he saw it? Either way, the result was undeniable. The case, already one of the most high-profile celebrity legal battles in years, had just gone nuclear. This wasn't the first time Diddy faced scrutiny, but it was the first time someone like Dwayne Johnson stepped into the fray. His persona has long been built on strength, integrity, and transparency. That kind of reputation doesn't just amplify what he says, it validates it. When someone like Johnson speaks, people listen. And when he says he's disturbed by something, people pay attention. The courtroom statement set off a domino effect. Other public figures began getting asked if they had similar stories. PR teams issued rushed statements. Some celebrities distanced themselves from Diddy's circle almost immediately. A few even deleted past posts and pictures involving him. It was as if Johnson's words gave everyone else permission to reconsider what they had ignored or excused for years. The court adjourned shortly after Johnson's appearance, but no one really left the room in spirit. Everyone knew the trial had entered a new phase. What had started as a legal process was now a public reckoning. There were no more safe sidelines. Everyone was choosing a side, even if quietly. Johnson didn't give interviews afterward. His team issued no follow-up statement. He walked out the courthouse with his head down and didn't return any calls from media outlets. But he didn't have to. He had said what he came to say. Now it's up to the courts to decide what's legal, what's admissible, and what's actionable. But in the court of public opinion, a verdict had already started forming. Not because of documents or timelines, but because one of the most respected voices in the entertainment industry took the stand and said, without shouting or pointing fingers, that something felt wrong. Sometimes that's all it takes. Not a scandal, not a meltdown, just a calm voice breaking the silence. And in that silence, the world listened.